Hey everybody, it's Jerry, and what I'm going to show you how to make this time is some homemade gnocchi, potato gnocchi, and we're going to make it without any dairy, and then we're going to make some sauce for it, which is pretty close to authentic Genovese pesto sauce, which is also going to be non-dairy. So the first thing that we're going to do is I've pre-boiled and peeled 2 pounds of potatoes. Now these are smaller potatoes, golden potatoes. You can use any kind of potatoes that you like. Just boil them until they're soft and then peel them. So this is 2 pounds. And we're going to mash those, first of all. Okay, so once the potatoes are all nice and mashed up, the first thing we're going to add is 2 eggs. And we're just going to beat them a little bit on the side here. So just lightly beat the eggs. And then mix that in with the potatoes. So get that nice mixed in. And then we're going to add a cup of brown rice flour. Just mix that in a little bit, and then we're going to add also a cup of potato starch. And then just get that all in good mixed up together. We're basically going to make a dough out of this. So ultimately we'll just be using our hands, so kind of get it started mixed together with a fork or whatever you like, and then you just kind of grab it with your hands and mix it together and knead it with your hands. Of course, make sure they're clean. So we just get in there with our hands now, just mix it up good with your hands. If you find you need more flour, you can just add some more of the brown rice flour until you get a dough that you can work with. Alright, so now we have the dough all well mixed together, and we're just going to take clumps of it at a time, like a ball of it, and we're just going to roll it out into like a thin snake. So I have a piece of wax paper here. I'm just going to roll it out into about a half-inch roll, half-inch in diameter. Depending on the size of the gnocchi, you can make larger or smaller gnocchi, depending on what you like. And then we're going to take a knife and just cut them into about inch-long sections. And then you just take the piece of the log here and just kind of pinch it with your thumb and curl it around. So you get sort of this boat shape to it, and that's going to be your gnocchi. So you just make those shapes and just put them aside one at a time. It's a time-consuming process, but it's worth it. Alright, well now we've finished making our gnocchi, or at least as much of it as we're going to cook up right now, and we have some water boiling, and so we're just going to take the gnocchi that we've made and just drop it in the water and then wait for it to rise to the surface, and that means it's done. So let's just take a how much of it we have here. Just going to drop it right in here. And then while we're waiting for that to cook, I'm going to make some sauce for it. And this is pretty simple. I'm just taking some almond milk, which is unflavored, unsweetened. And I'm just going to put as much sauce as we want to make into a pot. And then we're just going to heat that up. Put it over medium heat until it starts to heat up. And then we're going to add to that some homemade pesto. Let me show you what this looks like. It's very simple. It's basically just basil, pine nuts, garlic, and the fake cheese that I'm always using, the Daiya cheese, the mozzarella, and some salt and pepper, and some olive oil. And so you can pretty much mix the amounts that you like depending on the consistency that you want, but those are the ingredients. So it's very simple to make. You just basically just take all of those ingredients, throw it into a food processor, and let it mix up, and just keep adding olive oil as it's mixing to get the right consistency that you want. But it's very simple and really, really good. So our sauce is basically just going to be our almond milk and the pesto. So I'm just going to add a couple of tablespoons to the milk and just stir that. And our gnocchi has now risen to the top. So we're just going to take a slotted spoon and take them off and put them onto a plate. So if you do it this way, you can just cook up more gnocchi with the same water until you have everything cooked that you want. So for the sauce, we're just going to let this cook down a little bit because we want it to thicken up a little bit. So we'll just let it cook until it's to the consistency that we want. I want a nice creamy consistency. Alright, so our sauce is now nice and creamy. And I'm just going to add the gnocchi to the sauce. And just mix it in until they're all nice and covered in sauce. Just cook that for another minute or so, just so it all gets nice and absorbed in there. Okay, now we're ready to serve. So just spoon it into a bowl. And then we're just going to sprinkle a little cheese on top, a little of the fake Daiya cheese. And there we have it. Gnocchi with Genovese pesto sauce. Healthy and non-dairy. Enjoy.